I was wondering if I could share it with you. I just got a review and
Can't even allow articles to be put in. As an example, these are articles that were over the last day and a half. They're very good articles. They say the case is a sham.
Has there ever been a worse host than Jimmy Kimmel at the Oscars? And we have a new trial of the century to replace his The People of New York versus Donald Trump. So far, the people are winning. His opening was that of a less than average person trying too hard to be something which he is not and never can be.
In a comedic showdown that had audiences in stitches, late-night hosts Stephen Colbert and Jimmy Kimmel took aim at former President Donald Trump with a barrage of witty jabs. With razor-sharp humor and impeccable timing, Colbert and Kimmel tackled Trump's latest antics, sending ripples through the political landscape and leaving Trump himself reeling. In an era where satire often intersects with reality, these comedic powerhouses demonstrated once again that laughter can be a potent weapon against political absurdity. Jimmy Kimmel is known for his unfiltered critiques of Donald Trump's detachment from reality. Fearlessly, he brings this to light for everyone to see. Trump's narcissism, ignorance, and self-serving tendencies are seen as serious threats to democracy. Recently, Kimmel highlighted these issues by exposing Trump's actions. In response, Trump took to the Truth social media platform to mock Kimmel's performance as host of the 2024 Oscars. Despite the gravity of the situation, Trump seemed to find amusement in his own actions. Trump is eager to retaliate against Jimmy because there's some new footage circulating that's causing quite a stir. Kimmel absolutely roasted Trump in this clip, going straight for the jugular. It's one of those moments where you just have to sit back and applaud because Kimmel held nothing back. He came out swinging and Trump, let's just say, took a hit. This isn't your typical late-night banter, it's a total knockout, and Kimmel knocked it out of the park. Donald Trump, the embattled former president, was seen fleeing a courtroom in a panic, clutching a towering stack of documents as if they were his last lifeline. He was shouting at the top of his lungs, insisting that these papers were the ultimate proof of his innocence. But honestly, it looked like a scene straight out of a slapstick comedy gone wrong. Trump's frantic behavior could earn him an award for the most dramatic exit, but convincing anyone with that mountain of paper? That's another story. Trump dramatically brandished what seemed like enough paper to deforest a small country easily over 100 sheets and began rifling through them, as if auditioning for a magician's act. Now that's what I call a grand gesture. Just a few days ago, Donald Trump dashed out of court in a frenzy, clutching a mountain of papers as if they held the key to his salvation. He launched into a tirade about an unjust gag order, lamenting how it even silenced his tweets, or as he oddly called it, truthing whatever that means. It's clear he's terrified, realizing he could be facing a lengthy jail sentence if things don't go his way. And let's not overlook the bombshell testimony from David Pecker. Trump didn't even try to refute any of it. There he stood, with his tower of papers, desperately trying to salvage whatever he could. The case is ridiculous, Trump said, repeating his unsubstantiated claims that the allegations are politically motivated and a witch hunt orchestrated by President Joe Biden. Jimmy Kimmel didn't hold back when it came to mocking Trump's paper-stacking theatrics. He dove in headfirst, delivering a relentless onslaught of jokes that left the audience in stitches. With gusto, Kimmel seized the opportunity to hilariously roast Trump for his stack of paper, transforming the courtroom drama into a side-splitting comedy sketch. I think this big stack of papers none of you can read speaks for itself, folks, Kimmel quipped. When Trump launched into his tirade about his supposed outrage case, Kimmel's comedic genius reached new heights. His response was pure gold as he expertly lampooned Trump's outrageous claims with unmatched hilarity. Continuing his theatrics, Trump delved even deeper, vividly describing his supposed suffering in the bone-chilling cold of a frigid room from dawn till dusk. It seemed as though he was trying to garner sympathy with his exaggerated tale of woe. Earlier this month, Trump complained about the chilly Manhattan courtroom, telling reporters, "I'm sitting here for days now from morning till night in that freezing room." Freezing. Everybody was freezing in there. But Trump's unwitting theatrics handed Jimmy Kimmel yet another golden opportunity for comedic brilliance. With perfect timing, Kimmel seized the moment and delivered the perfect punchline, turning Trump's frozen woes into pure comedic gold. Kimmel couldn't help but add his own comedic twist to the situation, humorously commenting on Trump's mismatched hues. With his trademark wit, he joked about how Trump's hands and face seemed to be in a color showdown, with such contrasting shades that they looked like they came from entirely different paint stores. Kimmel's comparison of Trump to a cantaloupe wearing batting gloves left the audience in uproarious laughter, reaffirming Kimmel's unrivaled skill in delivering comedic commentary. During a lighthearted moment, one juror amusingly described Trump as less orange and more yellow, sparking a wave of laughter in the comment section as observers couldn't resist poking fun at Trump's distinct complexion. A commenter humorously queried, "The juror said Trump looks less orange and more yellow. Is yellow the color for coward?" Jimmy Kimmel's witty roast garnered widespread acclaim, with one individual aptly summarizing, "Jimmy Kimmel is to Trump what Norm Macdonald was to OJ, relentless, uncompromising, and pulling no punches. Bravo, Jimmy." In a resurgence of hostilities, Donald Trump has reignited his feud with Jimmy Kimmel on Truth Social, once again criticizing Kimmel's hosting abilities as abysmal. However, Trump's jab took an unexpected turn when he mistakenly referred to Kimmel as this year's Best Picture presenter, Al Pacino. This latest verbal sparring unfolds against the backdrop of Trump's ongoing hush money trial in New York City, a trial that Kimmel has been gleefully ridiculing Trump about throughout the week on his ABC late-night show. Stupid Jimmy Kimmel, who still hasn't recovered from his disastrous performance and significant ratings decline as host of the Academy Awards, particularly when he demonstrated he suffered from TDS, commonly known as Trump derangement syndrome, into the entire world by reading my real-time criticism on air about how poorly he was performing that night just before he stumbled through announcing the most prestigious award, Picture of the Year, Trump asserted. It was a classic blunder, one of the biggest in show business history. And to make matters worse, he forgot to utter the iconic and obligatory line, and the winner is instead fumbling with the envelope. Trump revisits a moment from the conclusion of the 2024 Oscars broadcast, where Kimmel spontaneously opted to read Trump's live criticism of the ceremony aloud. Retaliating live on the Oscar stage, Kimmel quipped, "Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still awake. Isn't it past your bedtime?" In his recent post, Trump erroneously attributes a blunder to Jimmy Kimmel that was, in fact, made by Al Pacino during the presentation of the Oscar for Best Picture. Pacino's mix-up, where he said Oppenheimer instead of the customary, and the Oscar goes to, left viewers perplexed. Therefore, while Trump may view this misstep as one of the most significant mishaps in showbiz history, it's unrelated to the individual he's targeting in his post. Donald Trump appears unable to let go of Jimmy Kimmel's Oscars jab. In a Fox News interview immediately after the ceremony, Trump lambasted Kimmel, denouncing him as a poor host and not a talented guy. Trump didn't stop there. He also asserted that Kimmel's ABC talk show suffers from dismal ratings. "I suppose I shouldn't be surprised," Trump remarked. Kimmel, in turn, responded to Trump's continued fixation on the Oscars incident by quipping, "Donald Trump has claimed I lack talent so many times. Eric is starting to feel left out. But what he fails to grasp is my appreciation for this," Kimmel continued. "I relish the fact that this bothers him so profoundly. I revel in Fox's choice of an obscure news personality to conduct his interview, and I particularly enjoy his attempt to spin being the subject of ridicule into a positive." The day after the Oscars, Kimmel disclosed that he had been advised against reading Trump's tirade about the Oscars on stage, but he chose to ignore the counsel. Trump, in response, criticized Kimmel on Fox News, insinuating that Kimmel's deliberate viral moment during the Oscars indicated he's even more foolish than I imagined. According to Trump, Kimmel could have avoided the limelight by remaining silent. Kimmel did not let Trump's remarks slide. He swiftly retorted, reminding Trump why the moment resonated globally. Kimmel underscored his punchline, "Isn't it past your jail time?" as the driving force behind its widespread resonance. Kimmel also highlighted the surge in merchandise sales featuring this anti-Trump catchphrase, underscoring the impact of his retort. "But if only I had kept silent," Kimmel quipped. Imagine him advising anyone to keep quiet. That should be engraved on his tombstone, "should have remained silent." Stephen Colbert wasted no time in rallying to Jimmy Kimmel's defense following Donald Trump's recent social media diatribe over the Oscars. During the ceremony, Kimmel had openly ridiculed Trump by reciting his live criticism of the event and jesting, "Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still awake. Isn't it past your bedtime?" On April 17th, in a post on Truth Social, Trump berated foolish Jimmy Kimmel, branding him an abysmal host and attributing the show's significant ratings decline to him. "Keep my friend Jimmy Kimmel's name out of your peculiar little mouth." "All right," Colbert fired back during the Late Show. I'm incensed. Jimmy Kimmel is my podcast ally from Strikeforce 5, and I have pledged to defend him until my demise or the next Mint Mobile advertisement. And let it be known, sir, Jimmy executed a remarkable job as host. Oscar viewership saw a 4% increase. Colbert quipped before jesting, yes indeed. This year 4 more individuals tuned in. Colbert concluded on a more solemn tone, stating, indeed, amid a presidential campaign and numerous federal indictments, he remains fixated on the Academy Awards from 5 weeks prior. Kimmel addressed Trump's recent criticism during a late-night monologue, jesting, "Seems I've once again rustled the feathers of our Kentucky Fried former president, who, despite all that's unfolding, remains stung by my Oscars jest. This was 5 weeks ago. Even my parents have moved on." Kimmel quipped, "The only person still harping on this joke is him. It must have really struck a nerve. Perhaps that's why they've invited me to host again next year. A plan I wasn't considering, but now I might. Who knows? Maybe Trump can catch it on the TV in the rec room at Rikers with the guys." Trump appears fixated on Kimmel's Oscars jab. During a Fox News interview post-ceremony, Trump criticized Kimmel as an inadequate host and not a talented guy. Trump then proceeded to assert that Kimmel's ABC talk show suffers from poor ratings. "I suppose I shouldn't be surprised," Trump remarked. Kimmel responded to Trump's continued fixation on the Oscars diss, remarking, "Donald Trump has asserted I lack talent so frequently Eric is getting envious. But what he fails to grasp is my embrace of this. I revel in the fact that it irked him so deeply." Trump's recent social media barrage coincides with his ongoing hush money trial in New York City, a trial Kimmel has been gleefully ribbing Trump about all week on his ABC late-night show. Stephen Colbert swiftly called out Donald Trump for what he deemed an absurd falsehood. During a Fox News interview, Trump denied ever uttering "lock her up" regarding Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. "I didn't say lock her up, but the people would all say lock her up. Lock her up," Trump falsely asserted. "The people said lock her up," an incredulous Colbert retorted on Monday. "That was your entire campaign. Enough. We remember. We were there." That concludes today's segment. Until next time.